Imagine waking up trapped inside a block of ice, completely unable to move, unable to scream, your skin turning solid, your blood slowing into slush, and your heartbeat fading until it stops altogether. This sounds like the beginning of a horror movie, but for one human being, it was reality. Today, you're going to witness one of the most medically impossible survival stories ever recorded. The story of the man who was frozen solid for 7 hours and somehow came back to life. It happened on one of the coldest nights in northern Sweden. Temperatures were so brutal that machines struggled to run. A young medical student named Anna Bajenholm had gone out skiing with friends after her shift at the hospital. They had done this routine many times: calm mountains, soft snow, nothing unusual. But beneath the snow that evening was a hidden danger, a thin layer of ice covering an underground stream. As Anna skied downhill, the snow suddenly collapsed beneath her. She plunged headfirst into a narrow crack and slid straight into freezing water trapped under the ice. Her friends rushed toward her, grabbing her legs and pulling with everything they had, but Anna was pinned beneath a solid sheet of ice, barely able to breathe. The water was almost pure ice, just above 0 degrees, and within minutes, her body began shutting down. She found a tiny air pocket under the ice, barely enough to keep breathing. She couldn't lift her head, couldn't move her arms, couldn't escape. Her friends screamed for help, but the nearest rescue team was over an hour away. Anna's body temperature kept dropping. At 30 minutes in such water, a human should be dead. At 45 minutes, survival is considered impossible. She remained under for 80 minutes. By the time rescuers broke the ice with axes and pulled her from the water, her skin was frozen hard, her pupils were fixed, and she had no pulse. Her body temperature had dropped to 13.7 degrees C, lower than many corpses. In the helicopter, medics performed CPR non-stop, but her heart didn't move. She had no sign of life for over 3 hours. When she reached the hospital, the team didn't debate whether she could be saved. They debated how to document the time of death. But one doctor made a bold decision: she's not dead until she's warm and dead. He believed that the extreme cold might have slowed her brain enough to protect it. It had never been tested in a human at such low temperatures, but they tried. They connected her to a full-body heart-lung machine and began warming her blood 1 degree at a time. Her temperature rose slowly: 14 degrees C, 15 degrees C, 16 degrees C. Hours passed. The resuscitation team continued chest compressions even though nothing changed. People began whispering that it was hopeless, but the doctor refused to stop. He kept the team going. And then, after 7 hours of being frozen solid, something unbelievable happened. Anna's heart twitched, once, then again. A weak rhythm began to form. The monitors started beeping. The room went silent as every doctor stared at the screen. Her heart was beating. She had come back from a state no human was ever expected to return from. Even though her heart restarted, Anna remained in a coma. Her brain had been without oxygen for hours. The odds of ever waking up normally were almost 0. But slowly, unbelievably, her body began healing. The same cold that almost killed her had protected her brain by slowing it down almost to hibernation. Eventually, she opened her eyes. She spoke. She moved. She recovered. Months later, she was walking again. A year later, she was back at work at the same hospital, with no brain damage, no memory loss, no lasting injuries. She went from being a frozen, lifeless body to a fully healed human being. Her survival remains one of the most extraordinary medical events ever recorded. Doctors still use her case as proof that sometimes the line between life and death is far thinner than we imagine. And Anna's story reminds us of something powerful: that even when everything inside you shuts down, even when the world around you goes completely cold, there may still be a spark of life waiting to ignite again.